Welcome to Philadelphia, the birthplace of America. The downtown skyline shining brilliantly tonight. Welcome aboard, everybody. This is Wednesday Night Basketball of the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg and our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. And for a look at how the competition stacks up right now, these, the new power rankings, they tell a great story. You take a look at Los Angeles. They're stuck in the same spot, but still a top 10 team.
And right now for Philadelphia, they're putting to rest any big concerns people may have had with this team, proving they are truly an upper echelon club.
And now the Lakers starting group. They've got Bledsoe. Marc Gasol is out there with Aminu. And it's LeBron James. And it's Caruso in at the 5. And for the 76ers, Harris and Embiid together in the middle. Simmons is out there with Shake Milton. And it's Green in at the small forward. Now for the teams that are clearly rebuilding, should they simply play the young guns, Greg, no matter what, or do they make them earn their minutes?
Kev, I don't know that there's a right answer to that. I think it's really about the personnel and the personalities of the guys on that roster. And really, the front office should play a big role in that as well. But it's a hard call. You got to believe enough in those young guys to say, hey, that's our future. We're going in that direction. But you still got to also take care of your veteran guys who are kind of setting the table for your future.
2 shots.
The first one falls.
And you rarely see the vision and playmaking of Ben Simmons in someone that size. That you can put him up there with Magic, LeBron, and Penny Hardaway in terms of those taller playmakers.
Yeah, you're spot on there, Greg. I mean, he's unique, really unique and gifted in that regard. And with all great passers, there are a couple of things they do well. One is they see a play or two ahead. They anticipate and throw the ball where it should be going, anticipating that. And the other thing is the timing with which they make their passes. It's usually right at the right time, the opportune time for a teammate to score on the catch.
Now here's Gasol. He averages about 5 points a game. Shots good by Bledsoe.
Hey, with the advent of analytics, you don't see too many guys shoot from there. But Bledsoe still finds value in the mid-range game.
Here's Simmons. Green bounce pass. Harris against Aminu. Lets it go from 11. Out of bounds, the Lakers will take possession. And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Los Angeles' head coach gave me a few minutes. One thing he wants to do is prevent Ben Simmons from getting downhill. Coach said with his speed, handle, and vision, he'll pick you apart if you let him run the court unimpeded. We're going to try to pick him up the minute he receives the ball, Kevin. But that's easier said than done. Back to you.
Thank you, David.
Hard to play better defense than that, guys. I mean, but right there, James simply overpowered him.
Here's Simmons, and Simmons slams it in.
Taking matters into his own hands.
Yeah, we didn't expect to see that kind of finish.
And you know, guys, when your point guard is making explosive plays at the rim, I really do think it sets the tone for the rest of the team.
Here's James. 76ers getting the bucket. And it's Joel Embiid with the rebound.
Wide open, and still, surprisingly, it wasn't able to cash in.
And they're moving it up. A putback.
And how about the veteran Gasol doing a great job of just getting down the floor there in transition and cashing in.
Here's Simmons. Here's Harris. They kick it out to Green. Goes back up. Embiid trying to break loose. And there's the bucket as Green finishes it off.
Well, the defense that time really challenging Danny Green, but didn't faze him at all. Still got it up and in.
Green against LeBron. There's 47 seconds left to play in the first. Passes it to Caruso. gets the three-pointer to fall.
You know, Bledsoe has developed his passing skills to the point where you've got to respect that part of his game. He's doing a nice job finding his open guys.
Now here's Simmons. What a tremendous game he played against Toronto.
Puts the D in a tough spot when you have a point guard who can throw it down.
He really does, GA. He really does put pressure on you.
And you know, guys, showing how dynamic a weapon he is for this offense, they feed off of that energy and ability to make plays. It gets them going.
Now here's Aminu, following the miss by Eric Bledsoe. And again, it's the Lakers from deep.
You know, I think it's critical that Bledsoe shoots with confidence off the catch. I mean, I like that mentality.
Harris, right side. Over Aminu. And the 76ers tack on two more.
And hitting the mid-range jumper here early gives the defense just another thing to think about.
Well, they better be thinking about him. I mean, we know how dangerous he is.
And indeed, they're going to look at it again. They need to be certain he beat the buzzer.
And honestly, guys, in real time, I couldn't really see whether he got it off in time. But with the benefit of replay, it seems pretty clear that the clock expired just before the release.
And you know, as a player, you're aware of that clock ticking down on you. But within that last fraction of a second, it's really hard to know when you're focusing on your release and the defenders if you waited just a split second too long.
And it looks like they got it right this time. No basket. The clock had expired while the ball was still in his hands.
And even if they don't show it, I know the refs are proud of themselves after a replay proves them right. They're like, see, we had it right all along. So.
At the end of one, a closely contested game so far. Lakers lead by 2. Live from Philadelphia, you're watching 2K Sports. And earlier we got a few words from Marc Gasol regarding his former teammate in Toronto, Kawhi Leonard.
The way he plays defensively, you know what he stands for, and how competitive he is. I mean, I don't need somebody to bang his chest or like scream or like be one of those guys to know if you're competitive or not. Like, I think that's the way he is, and I respect that. And he's actually a really good, teammate and vocal and speaks when he needs to speak.
And of course, Gasol and Leonard won the championship together in 2019, largely, Greg, because of their ability to play defense and get stops.
And 2 former Defensive Players of the Year on the same team. That's going to be your foundation. But both guys were tremendous at the other end as well, albeit in different ways.
And this has been a fairly close game through the first quarter, and we'll see what happens here in the second. And taking a look at Los Angeles' performance here, what have they been doing or not doing?
Just cashing in on second chance opportunities. That's how they built this early lead.
Boy, grinding it out on the glass. They've really been working for those points.
Hill is out there with Maxey. Then there's Embiid. Then there's Bobby Portis. And it's Korkmaz in at the small forward position. That's the group on the floor for Philadelphia. Here's Kuzma. 17 points for him last game against Brooklyn. Here's Horton Tucker. Solid play in the low block, and that one's good. Horton Tucker's got his first 2 points of the night. And Greg, you play with some big personalities. Talk about the best way to manage egos and conflicts in the locker room. That's a very interesting topic.
No doubt about it. You know, Kev, first thing you learn from middle school on, your team is your family. And let's face it, all families have spats, and so do teams. You just learn to never personalize those things. Never leave any stone unturned. Like, don't let things fester. When there are issues, you address them. And if you're not taking things personally, you tend to be able to work through whatever issues you may come in front of.
Good advice. That free throw good from Korkmaz. That one falls, so he hits both of them. Quarter number 2. We're about a minute in. Here's Caruso. Taking a look at his numbers, he averages about 7 points a game. Good D by Embiid. And Philadelphia has possession. This game coming on the heels of their win against Toronto.
Yeah, mental toughness on the road. The arena was rocking, but they just got down to business and never let up.
Well, you know, it takes character, poise, toughness to win on the road, and that's exactly what they showed last game.
And the Lakers decide to take their first time out here. And this is the first season matchup for them against this 76ers team.
And really, this is a team that expects to beat everyone when they step on the floor, but they were only able to split the series last year.
And you look at how they match up. Certainly you could see them losing, but you would still expect them to come away with 2 wins.
Harris is checked in for Joel Embiid. The Lakers also with a sub. LeBron's checked in for Alex Caruso. And now approaching 2 minutes of action here in the second quarter. Morris passes to Kuzma. Yep, it counts. Kuzma's got his first points in this one.
Kuzma excellent at using his height and touch to perfection. Very confident player.
When Kuzma first entered the league, the Lakers were a rebuilding team. Now, Greg, he's one of the more experienced pieces on this team.
And Kuzma's made the most of it, switching to a learning role, tries to absorb as much as he can from the vets, and he does everything he can to pick their brain and improve on those little things in terms of championship caliber basketball.
Lakers shooting their first free throws of this.
Not a strong suit for this group, just around 71%.
You know, their percentages dropped off just a little bit compared to last year, guys, but it's not a huge drop-off, so no major concern.
And the first one at the line is good. And the Lakers with some changes. Marc Gasol is checked in for Markieff Morris. Aminu comes in for Kyle Kuzma. And it's Eric Bledsoe in for Matthews. He's perfect from the line this time. 56 seconds left in the first half of the game. Maxey passes to Hill. Here's Korkmaz. He can't hit that time. Great D that time from James. And pushing it up. Here's Los Angeles. And finished off by LeBron.
You know, LeBron plays a very mistake-free game, usually in the open court, and when he's out on the break, the points are almost a guarantee.
Here's Korkmaz. James covering. Korkmaz, no good.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint.
Horton Tucker, that's good. And it's the 76ers with the ball. They trail by 6. Can they get it? And the basket is good, and he's got a chance here for one more at the line.
Yeah, and there it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great inside position.
The 76ers shooting their 5th free throw of the game here.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line.
Guys, that says a lot about the poise of this team. I mean, they've been so calm, cool, and consistent at the stripe this year. I mean, that's impressive.
One shot.
Free throw good, Maxey. And here is James, and the layup is good. James has got 4 points now in the quarter.
Well, you got to do more than that to stop LeBron. I mean, he's strong, and when he gets up ahead of steam, he's a freight train.
Deep 2 from Hill, and the last second attempt doesn't fall. And a close game so far through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Lakers on top. They lead by 5. We've got more in store for you right after this.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, folks, can't tell you how much it means to us to have you back with us on the halftime show on 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson, Kenny the Jet Smith, Shaquille O'Neal. Means the world, doesn't it? Yes, a competitive matchup for the Lakers in the first quarter. At the end of the period, they were up by 2. Looking at the Lakers, Kenny, how'd you see it?
Well, we can't look past the work that their reserves have done tonight. There was a big difference between the teams in terms of points off the bench. And that could be a big factor in close games. When you can lean on your bench for offense, it's a nice advantage.
And over to Shaq. What did you think about Philadelphia?
Well, they need to turn the heat up on D. Too often we saw them back on their heels, not dictating the pace. They allowed a shooting percentage in the high 50s. Remind me of my free throw percentage, the high 50s. Come on, guys.
And that's a wrap. With the third quarter approaching, we now send you back to Kevin and the crew.
And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an edge. Look at LeBron James. He's really been playing well.
You just love the patience in that first half. Waited until he got the look he wanted.
Well, you know what, guys? It was all about efficient offense, not rushing things, taking your time, finding the best shot on every possession.
And if you're just joining us, we've played through the first half in a game that's been fairly even so far. Checking out the group for Frank Vogel to start the second half. They've got LeBron James. Al Farouk Amino is out there with Marc Gasol. Then there's Bledsoe, and it's Caruso in at point. The 76ers trail by 5.
And you talk about the perfect veteran wing player. Danny Green's right at the top of that list. Solid defense, good shooter, and plays within himself.
Here's Caruso, defended by Milton. The kick out to LeBron. Tries from 16, and Philadelphia grabs the miss. Embiid's got his 4th rebound in this one. And Greg, the experiences that Danny Green has had over the course of his terrific career, it's hard to match.
I mean, he's won multiple titles in his career, done so in different places with different types of teams. He's seen it all and knows what it takes to succeed.
And it's Bledsoe with the ball for Los Angeles. It's a 1-point game. Los Angeles calls timeout. changes here for the Lakers. Markieff Morris is checked in for Gasol. Kyle Kuzma comes in for Al-Farouq Aminu. And Wesley Matthews subbed in for Eric Bledsoe. LeBron, no luck.
Usually, guys, he's going to knock that one down from there. Proficient at operating in that medium range area.
Greg, who are your favorite players to watch in the NBA?
Boy, that's a tough one. You know, you gotta like the guys that have changed the game in some regards, right? Steph, KD, and Giannis. Those are three guys that are just doing things that don't seem normal.
True.
Then others who remind you of past greatness. You know, Jason Tatum with Kobe, or maybe an Anthony Davis with Hakeem. And those are guys that I love. And then the other guy, listen, LeBron James. I could watch him play basketball every day. You know, to do what he's done at this stage of his career, I just think it's incredible. And I think our game is in great shape.
Agree on all counts.
The big man is so skilled and has such an infectious personality. Joel Embiid is hard not to love. I mean, he just oozes that kind of attraction. And his potential, unlimited.
And they now lead as the free throw drops for him.
Free throw shooting is about mechanics, confidence, and your mental approach. He's locked in from there most every night.
Caruso, the pass to Kuzma. Right around a minute and a half played here in the third quarter. Simmons with the defensive effort. Here's Embiid. And it's Simmons penetrating. That one falls. Simmons got the lead up to 3 now for the 76ers.
His shooting has been outstanding. Definitely one of the reasons they're up in this game.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
You know, using his size advantage there to rip down that board in traffic.
Guys, we've seen some excellent offensive output.
Yeah, great momentum for them offensively.
Yes, that goes in. And now a 5-point 76ers lead.
And so far in the second half, this has been a different kind of game than what we saw early on.
No question about it. I mean, these teams are really battling hard now.
And it's out of bounds. The Lakers able to retain possession here. And now a look at the upcoming schedule for the 76ers. On Saturday, they'll take on Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors. And then on Monday, they'll be playing against Lou Williams and the Atlanta Hawks.
You know, most teams might get worried at a long road schedule like this one, but they've been so good away from home. I think they might be looking forward to it. You have to respect what this team can do when they're in your building.
James, that's a two-pointer. He clangs that one off the back iron, and down it falls. James has got 8 points.
And with those points, he puts an end to that 10-0 run by Philadelphia.
Simmons, the bounce pass. Here's Harris. The basket good off the assist from Simmons. Harris has got the lead back up to 5 now for Philadelphia. For Los Angeles, they've gone only 1 of 6 from the field in the third quarter. Not how they pictured the half started. Back to James. And he drops in the layup off the glass. James has got 4 points now in the quarter.
Not going to miss many chances from that range. That's LeBron's wheelhouse there.
Outside Hill. Kicks it to Harris. The pass to Simmons. With 4 seconds on the clock.
Just rubbing it in their faces with that dunk.
He is never going to take his foot off the pedal.
And that's terribly demoralizing for a defense, guys. I mean, they know he's going to keep coming and coming and coming, and that they may not have an answer for it.
And so it's Ben Simmons making highlights for Philadelphia. He notched 8 points in the quarter and has that terrific basketball instinct on display. And we'll be right back after this. And a chance right now to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
And definitely deserving of the prize tonight. How about the read he made here? Looking like a point guard, putting the pass right on the money.
Terrific versatility coming from a big man. Not something that the majority of big guys possess.
And with 3 quarters behind us, we start the 4th quarter in what is still anybody's ball game. Philadelphia leading by 5. Our 4th quarter action underway, presented by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups. So on the floor for Philadelphia, they've got Hill. Korkmaz is out there with Ben Simmons. Then there's Bobby Portis. And it's Maxey in at the 2 guard. The 76ers shooting a scorching 68% in the game. Portis in the post. Here's Korkmaz. He's covered by Matthews. The shot's good. Simmons got 10 points in just the second half.
And, you know, guys, we know Simmons most enjoys getting others involved, but he's showing you he can have huge nights himself as well.
Here's Philadelphia. Got a piece of it. Stolen by Bledsoe. Fast break. The Lakers. And here they go. Count it. And the Philadelphia lead has been cut down to 5 on the bucket from Aminu.
Seems to have a knack for hitting guys in their spots. His vision, excellent.
Timeout called, the 76ers. Some changes here for the 76ers. Joel Embiid, he's checked in for Hill. Green comes in for Korkmaz. And it's Shake Milton in for Maxey. Alex Caruso, he's checked in for Los Angeles. Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Well, during the break, I listened in on Doc Rivers talking to the team. He's encouraged where they are at this point in the game, but he told his guys things can turn in a blink. What we need to do is execute the rest of the way. So we'll see if they can finish this one off, Kevin.
Because of his strength and his athleticism, he kind of burrows his way inside and gets contact because he's looking for it. No fear from Bledsoe there.
Shoot 2.
So the first one drops, and that shrinks the margin to just 4.
You know, an athletic and strong player at his position is Bledsoe, and he's a confident guy who I think makes an impact at both ends of the floor.
Unable to get the second one.
Listen, they're still right in this thing. Missing that free throw, though, keeps this a 2-possession deficit.
And then Simmons slams it in.
You know, whenever Simmons gets a chance to show off his insane bounce, he takes advantage of it, really demonstrating how lethal he is in the air.
Lakers trail by 6. Just about 1.5 minutes gone by here in the 4th. Bledsoe, and that one hits back iron. 76ers have gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the 4th quarter started. Here's Simmons, and Simmons slams it in.
Well, I love watching Simmons run the floor, so effortless and efficient in his movement.
1:12 left to play in the final quarter. Bledsoe against Simmons. Gasol tried to free himself up. No good from Bledsoe.
Well, he's much better than that. Really no excuse for missing that lane.
kicks to Simmons. Off target there. That would have pushed the lead to double digits. Basket counts. Simmons got the lead up to 10 now for the 76ers.
And at this point, just sort of running through the paces, as it appears it'll be a nice win here for Philadelphia.
Their hard work on the glass paid off.
I tell you what, they're both excellent rebounding teams, and it was a tough battle underneath all game. And I think ultimately that earned the W.
And so checking out the record for these guys tonight will mark win number 37 for them on the year.
And with the win approaching, they'll take the first game here of 2 that they'll play against this team. Nice to get that first one out of the way and set the tone.
It sure is. It's just a 2-gamer since they're in opposite conferences, and you can bet they'll take the same approach right into game 2 that they had tonight.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for Ben Simmons.
An unbelievable scoring performance. He absolutely took over and never let up.
And now we present our New Balance Player of the Game, Ben Simmons.
And when a player scores over half his team's points, you know he's going to be our pick. Even when he's been the exclusive focus of the defense, they just haven't been able to keep him in check. A tremendous individual effort.
And now we can see that when he's at his best, they are a very dangerous team, going up against the defending champs and getting the job done. Pass to Caruso from the arc. Gets it to go from beyond the arc.
Boy, Gasol with a punishing pick that time.
They're in good position here to ride it out.
Certainly, if they just play smart, this game's over.
You really got to admire the reach of Gasol. He's excellent at utilizing.
Oh, what a finish!
Good. And you know, we've come to expect this from LeBron James, guys. I mean, when his team needs a bucket, he rises to the occasion.
Yes! And he has brought them to within 2 points.
Somebody stirred up Eric Bledsoe. He's rolling.
And the 76ers with possession. They'll be trying to take as much time off the clock as they can.
Exactly. Expect to see longer possessions from this point on.
Oh, you just love seeing a player with absolutely no fear.
Cool, calm, collected, and confident in the biggest moment of the game. Yes.
Los Angeles calls timeout. They're down by 4. We've got 22 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
Yeah, trying to get back in this thing, they need a score.
Yeah, and they need it hiccup fast. I mean, they'll be drawing up a quick hitter in the huddle here, no doubt.
Harris is checked in for the 76ers. Here's LeBron. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. That one on Embiid.
You know, that's one of the reasons LeBron is so hard to defend. He puts you in a tough spot, forces you to foul him because he's so strong and athletic, and then he gets himself to the line.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
He hits the first one, and that narrows the lead down to just 3.
Well, there are only a handful of players who've been on the line more often than LeBron, and no surprise, every one of them a Hall of Famer. That's where he's headed to.
James drills them both.
And now down to a one-possession game. Those foul shots, huge.
20 seconds left in the fourth, and they commit an intentional foul. We'll see another one of those so they can get into the penalty.
You know what? Smart foul. You got to try and extend the game.
Do it. It's not over. The clock is as much a problem for them as the score is right now, so they've got to try to manage it.
A tremendous mobile one block that we had to see again. Great send back.
The defensive awareness, the timing, when you have to face a defender that can reject you like that, it can alter your approach.
And so they choose to intentionally foul. He drops the first one, and that makes it a three-point lead.
I like his even-keeled demeanor, guys. You look at Ben Simmons, never too high or too low. He's got a quiet confidence about him that bodes well for his future.
Wow, I tell you what, those free throws will give them some much-needed breathing room. Two-possession game now.
The three, Bledsoe. And again, no good by the Lakers. They're going to prolong the game here with an intentional foul. And he cannot get the first one to drop. Tough one to miss. And the second of two is good. That puts them up by 5. 7 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Bledsoe outside. Los Angeles with another miss. So the 76ers win it. They didn't make it easy on themselves or their fans, but in the end, everyone's satisfied.
I mean, there were some times that momentum shifted, and especially early on, but let's give this group a lot of credit for that stick-to-itiveness in terms of finishing out and executing that game plan.
Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our terrific 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. See you later.